Hi everybody, thank you for coming back. Today I am very close to having my RNY gastric bypass, and so I thought I'd come on today and kind of just tell you guys what my weight journey has been to getting to this point, along with showing you guys the rest of the things that I picked up to prepare for surgery. Told you I'd show you on my last video, and so here it is. So all my life, I've been overweight, not necessarily obese, but overweight. And I've always done things to never get it to the point where I continue to gain weight. And some of those things were unhealthy. I remember back in high school taking like excess laxatives so that I can keep the weight down. So genetically, I just am a heavier person. And then I went from that to, um, just not eating anything really. Like I remember tiny portions just so that I wouldn't feel hungry and I could make it. That led to really unhealthy behaviors all through college where I would binge and then throw up, binge, and then I realized that that would mess up my teeth, and I was like, I like my smile, so no, we're not doing that. And so that stopped. And then going back into unhealthy behaviors with super small portions where I would make like a cheese sandwich and cut it in four and like divide that throughout my day, where I'm eating this, tiny square of food really slowly, savoring every bite. And so that led to lots of ups and downs in my weight. Then around probably after I had my second child, I put on a lot of weight with my second child, and I thought, oh, I gotta do something. I gotta, So I signed up for. My doctor had told me first. He said, you got to get this weight down, and he sent me to like a weight loss medical clinic place, and they put me on phentermine, which didn't work. I started at like a 43 BMI, went down to a 39 BMI, and then went back up to a 42 BMI. And before I left the program, I was back up to a 43 BMI. So we're like, okay, that didn't work. And then after that, I said, okay, well, I'm going to get really into intermittent fasting. I skipped too far ahead. Prior to that, prior to any phentermine that I went on, I know that I can lose weight when I do something extreme, which is why all my life I've been doing these really unhealthy behaviors, because it worked. Not eating, of course it works. Eating small, tiny amounts, of course it works. So I said, okay, no more of that, and I'm going to try a personal trainer. And this was probably when my oldest is 10 now. He was probably like 3 or 4. I'm going to get a personal trainer. I'm going to spend the money for a personal trainer. He's going to come with a nutritional plan, and I'm going to do everything he said. I was working out twice a day sometimes, but definitely once a day, every day. I was working out for an hour to an hour and a half, hardcore workout where it was Tabatas. I would spend 45 minutes on the elliptical or the Stairmaster or running prior to doing all the Tabatas and all the weight training. And then I would take a second workout later in the day. And then every weekend I would run from my home to a local Publix, which is probably like 4 miles away, and then, run back. And I would do that along with eating a very restricted diet, which consisted of, it was balanced though. I mean, after the workout, I had protein shakes. I had big Bogota, kind of like a potato, really starchy, with ground turkey. I would have measured out bags of chicken with spinach, no seasoning, just salt and pepper, and no dressing, just hot sauce. And it would be measured out in these little bags and containers, and I would eat every 3 hours. And I remember, because of having to eat every 3 hours, I was teaching at that time, and I would have to heat my food in the microwave and then take it with me in the car so I can eat it on the drive home so that I wasn't starving by the time I got home. And then eventually we introduced like fruits back. So I had like an orange and a Greek yogurt. It was extremely restrictive, and I felt great though. I felt in shape. I felt strong. I felt healthy, but it was like a second job. And I'll insert a picture of what I looked like at that time when I was like, go Sherry. And so I'll put obviously was not sustainable forever. Um, I kind of got like tired of like the extreme workout, and I got really comfortable in the weight that I was in, and I was like, oh, okay, and started to like eat a little more and like, go out a little more. Felt really good, and then realized, I never actually hit the under 200 though. I went as low in that picture that I put in. I was probably about one, no, not one, 205. I remember my goal was to get into, Wonderland, and I just never quite hit it. Um, I think the lowest I got was like 201, like hoping that the next week I would get there, and I never did. But that was the most I've ever lost at one time. So it was 60 pounds I lost at that time. And so that was that picture. And I loved it, but it was not sustainable. Measuring out the food and doing all that, that was probably an easy part of it. It was really the grueling workouts, the running every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the twice a day workouts, the even though it made me feel really good, it was just at a rate that it couldn't sustain forever. And so the weight eventually came back up. And that's when my doctor said, okay, let's try, the phentermine and see how that works, because you didn't have any success with anything else sustaining. That again also didn't work. And then went back to the doctor. At this point, I was like so frustrated. I have to try something else. And then I tried a company called Optiva, which a friend introduced me to it. They had lost tons of weight and said it was very easy because they were busy at work and they could just drink these shakes. And I'm like, you know what? I'm always busy. I can drink shakes and little meals. And I've done it for about 7 months. Again, I missed something else I've tried. Let's skip back again. So after the phentermine didn't work, before I tried Optavia, I decided to get all into intermittent fasting, and keto at the same time, right? So double whammy. And I, tried the 8 hour, then I went to 16 hour, and it kind of maintained a lower weight for me, probably about 230, 240. But it never took me lower than 240. And then I went back up, after that to about 265, 270. And I was like, okay, let's try this intermittent fasting. But from the books that I read and downloaded and the audiobooks, like, there's all these different kinds of intermittent fasting. So let's try alternate day fasting. And I said, okay, I'm going to do alternate day fasting. I'm going to eat keto at the same time. I'm not going to eat for one entire day, and the next day I'm going to eat. And that worked. I lost 20 pounds in a month. When I got to eat, I didn't crazy eat, but I ate whatever I wanted. When it was no eat, I drank water. I stayed away from people. I stayed away from food. That's the key. I stayed away from people so that I wouldn't have to be around food. And then the days I got to eat, I got to eat. But then that got really inconvenient when, someone's calling like, hey, sure, you want to go see a movie? And I'm like, can we go see it tomorrow? Because today I can't eat anything. But tomorrow I can eat, and then I can go to the movies. Yeah. So you can see how long that lasted. After that is when it went back up to about 270, and the doctor's like, let's try going someplace else and trying the phentermine. And so from that, and not being successful with that, I decided to try something else, because 100 pounds and get to 170, which is still considered obese, I'm cool with that. If I can get to 150, 160, to that 25 BMI, that would be fabulous. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself this time to do that. What I am going to do is follow all the rules and eat really healthy and do the walking and do the work, and whatever my body decides to do at that point, then that's what it's going to do. If it wants to hold on to 170 and keep me happy there, great. If it wants to drop me lower and I find myself lower than that, great. I know that in time, over time, you'll end up putting on some back. And I'm okay with that too, but I'm glad I chose something that's going to at least keep me in that healthier range long term. I also chose the RNY because before the sleeve, because I do have some reflux that they already noticed from the exam that they did, and I wasn't about to make that worse. Plus, the sleeve only is restrictive, and I know that I'm not the perfect eater forever, and I know that there are going to be times where I'm like, this is just a flux month and I'm going to eat garbage maybe sometimes. I don't know. 3-4 years from now, I might want some chips, and it's kind of cool to know that like not all the chips are going to be absorbed, and some of that gets to just not get absorbed. And I think I'm good with that. So let's take a look at some of the things that I didn't get to show you guys last time that will prepare me for surgery. All right, so some things I didn't get to show you before, and let's get started. All right. I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm kind of just going to grab it off this table that I have right next to my kind of work area. And then after I show you, I'll move it over there. So the first one I already showed you is my blend jet that I have that I bought when I was on Optiva. I'm going to use this for the protein shakes, to put in here because it kind of makes it icy and then I can sip on it. And I love this because I can travel and put it in my bag. So that is the first one. I'm not sure yet exactly when I can go back to work and completely. My doctor did put down a month that he gave time off, but if I'm feeling better, I'd like to come back to work in like 2 weeks. I do have a work trip planned in a month after surgery on May 18th that I fly out for. And so I would like to have approval before that so that I can attend that event. I already planned it. I already booked the tickets for it. And so I'm going to do everything I can to follow all the directions and rest and recover so that he can write that I can attend that work event. It is a lot of standing. It is a lot of walking. It's a convention. And so I just need him to put that in the notes that I'm able to do that. So my job allows me to do that. Because of that and standing and kind of walking around, not being in my home environment, I did pick up this contraption. I know you're like, what in the world? All right, so if you haven't been to any kind of convention before, you do a lot of walking around, and I know that I'm gonna have to consume 64 ounces of water minimum every single day. And I don't want to be without my water. I also don't want to hold it the whole time because I have a tendency to lose things, and I'll put it down somewhere and I won't remember where it was. So I won't have my water. I won't have my cool water bottle that I bought. So I got this. This will go around my neck, kind of like a little satchel. And then it'll fit any water bottle that I pick up at the convention or one that I bring with me. And it just kind of fits in like that. Then it hangs, and keep it around my neck, throw it over like a purse, and walk around, feel comfortable, be hands-free so I can talk to people. But every time I need to take my sip, which I'm going to do right now, I have it with me. All right, so last video I showed, I'm going to take this off for now. Last video I showed you guys that I bought like a compression sleeve thing. The one part of my body that I'm like concerned about are these arms. They are big arms. I've always had bigger arms. They're kind of hanging right now, so who knows what's going to happen to them. But I did pick up some compression arm sleeves that I plan on keeping on majority of the day until I go to bed and working out. And it kind of fits like a little t-shirt, and then these slap on the hands. So it kind of fits like a faja. I'm going to use that to kind of keep everything kind of close while I'm dropping the rapid weight for like the first 6 months. Kind of like they do like after any kind of lipo or thing like that, you wear a faja for a while. Same principle. I will link in anything that I bought from Amazon or any place else in the description, so you can find if you're interested in any of the stuff that I picked up. So the water bottle strap that I did pick up on Amazon looks like that. I think it was like $10. But yeah, that was important. I've also picked up Miralax. Right, they say that you could have that issue. I've already been trying it now because before surgery, I've sometimes had that issue. And I'm rather surprised of how non-tasting this is. I put it into my water. I can't taste a thing, and it does work. It's like magic. So I will be picking up a bigger one of these. These ones are the travel size ones. I think I'll pick up a bottle to keep at home and then keep these for when I'm traveling for work or traveling out on the go, and they can just fit in a water bottle. And they're, you know, small. So highly recommend that if you normally do have issues, or you're starting to have issues, or just because you want to be regular. I don't know. The next thing I picked up as well is kind of interesting. So if everything goes as planned and I do get approved for that work trip, I will be heading out on the exact, like my 4-week exact post surgery. And so I'm not sure yet what I will be eating at that time. It would probably be the start of regular food, but I may still not feel comfortable with that at that time and still want to be on soft foods and broths and things. And so I work for a very social job that will do a lot of going out. After the work event, I'm there for 5 days, and I don't want to be in a position where I don't have the stuff that I can eat while I'm out there and not prepared. So I picked up this small little guy. Right. It's a foldable cup, and it can hold hot liquids. I can also clip it with this little hook to my water holder and kind of walk around with that. If we end up having to go eat somewhere and there is no soft food available there, like there's no egg I can get, or maybe salmon that I can mush up that is approved that by that time, then I can have this with me. It works where I can take off the cap part, pull off this plastic piece, and then pull it out just like that. Put this ring, kind of like a coffee ring, around the bottom, like so. And go ahead and put like a cream of chicken powdered soup pack inside. Get some hot water, close it up. And I know that I can sip on that while we're eating or socializing and getting my nutrients in. I also will be packing, because protein, unflavored protein with me. This soup itself has no protein in it. And we know that protein is important after any kind of bariatric surgery. So I did pick up these collagen peptides, which I absolutely love. They're unflavored. I put them in Jell-O. Can't taste it. It dissolves completely. So then I can put little pouches of that, or little Ziploc bags with that in here. This is actually not this. This is actually the whey protein. This is actually clear white powder, but I can put it in little pouches, keep those pouches with me, and then when I put the soup pack in here, dump that protein in there, and then get 10 grams of protein in that soup. And so just different ways that I can be successful even if I'm not in my same environment. And then afterwards, after I finish, it rinses out just fine. It closes back just as easily as it came apart. Closes back there. And then this seals back. And then I can clip this back to the water bottle holder for my next meal or next time that I have to eat something on the go. And this was also purchased through Amazon. They do say they come in all these cute little colors. I just got black because I'm basic sometimes. So that's that. I do, like I said, I do have a couple of my Optiva packs. left. I think I have two, one for protein shakes, one for like a pudding, and then these like sweet potato kind of mix, like mashed potatoes almost out of it. I will be using these when I get to soft foods. They do have a lot of protein in them. It's a small amount, and I really enjoyed them when I was on it. And so I'm going to use up what I have and use these two boxes on this journey as well. I do have, these are the other ones I have left. I have three creamy chocolate shakes. These have 14 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat, and 110 calories. So they're just like protein shakes. I picked up, this was the water protein bottle shaker that I had from Optiva. So I still have that one, and then I picked up another one in this nice pink color, and just so that I don't have to wash, you know, one, I always have one available, so I have two of those for those shakes. Although that's kind of like I gotta drink and get it down. When I want to kind of sip and enjoy it, I'm still gonna use my blend jet because I like it thicker. I just had my husband pick up some of these little appetizer spoons. I'm gonna have a couple more left in here. They come in a little box at like the grocery store in your appetizer section, and I just thought they were perfect for the small, tiny bites that I'll be taking after surgery. So I have those. I picked up 4-ounce containers, and I also picked up 3-ounce containers. I think, and I read in my packet from the hospital that I'd be eating about 3 ounces of food when I am eating soft foods, so I have those. But these were big enough to hold the protein powder and the 1 scoop, and so when I am on, like, the protein powders have these stacked up, if I have to go somewhere and I already drank one, I could easily just like seal this in here, put that inside, or keep it in my purse and have it there so that I can empty it out and have it with me. And it also works fine in like a little Ziploc bag too. I just put them in here because they're measured out. Another thing I thought I could add to my smoothies for extra protein is the PB2. This is 1.5 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, and only 4 carbs. So I already measured out 6 grams of protein. So if I'm having a protein shake that has, like, say 25, and I can add 6 more and get that down, that's a good way to add it there. I picked up on Amazon also some instant soup packs. These are just beef soup, little tiny packets. They're like $10 for like 5 of them. Really healthy. Makes 1 cup. And so these are the kind that'll be in my purse that I would take with me on the trip. I also got a strainer. I don't have it here because I used it yesterday to strain out any particles in the soup when I am on broth after surgery. I picked up 2 things. I don't know how, or 3 things. I don't know how helpful they'll be or when I'll be allowed to try them or use them. I know that I can only take Tylenol as pain meds now and not like anything with ibuprofen. Sorry, the glare from the windows in my eye. So I got Tylenol but dissolvable packs. And you kind of just mix with water and you can drink it, just in case. I used to take these before because I had a hard time just digesting the food that I would normally eat, and they recommended digestive enzymes after even. So I don't know when I would start these, but if I'm having a hard time digesting or breaking down food, these are enzymes, papaya enzymes. They're just like little chewables. So I picked up that. And then they said that there's a lot of gas pain after. These are also chewables that I can chew on that's supposed to alleviate gas. I don't know how much of this I'll take or if it works or anything like that, but I have it to try. If it gets that bad, then I need to try. I made sure I picked up a couple more tablespoon measurements. A lot of the protein shakes do have a measurement, but some things like the protein peanut butter doesn't. So having that measurement that matches the back, like it says 2 tablespoons, I want to be able to measure properly and have my 2 tablespoons. I have a food scale that I picked up when I was doing Optiva, so that would come in handy as well. I do have a collagen protein one that I picked up from the same company that makes the vitamins. And I've already tried this. It tastes great. It tastes like chocolate. It has 11 grams of protein in it. So if I want to mix it up, I have a big vanilla protein. But if I want to add some chocolate to it and add some collagen, this will be the way that I do that. And I also picked up some unflavored protein powder. And this I mostly picked up if I want to do any cream soups. The collagen one really goes in clear liquids, and this one kind of goes in cream liquids. That's unflavored, so any kind of chicken, like say I bought like chicken noodle and I blended it up and I wanted it to be full of more protein, I can put a scoop of this. It'll make it extra creamier, but I won't taste the protein in it. So I got that. So that is pretty much where I am with all the things I picked up to get ready. Sorry about the glare, for the procedure. Thank you guys for staying on so long. Today my goal is to work. I have to start working a little bit, and to get down as much liquids as I can get down and enjoy it. I got some popsicles. I got a big tub of sugar-free Jello with protein in it that I'm going to take down for my breakfast after this. And then I'm going to stay busy. I'm going to clean and organize and do everything I can to make it through today and tomorrow. And next time I see you guys, I'm going to try to film that experience going into the surgery room, or getting to the hospital at least, as far as I can film. And I'm really excited about this journey, and thank you guys for listening. Talk to you later. Bye. That's what we do when we're heavier and we're trying to lose weight. We're on a constant yo-yo diet of trying different things to find the one that's sustainable and find the one that works. So then I tried a company called Optiva. I bought, and I still have a couple of the boxes from them. They kind of look like this. I think I have like 2 boxes left. They came in these little pouches. Inside each pouch was 7, which is a week's worth of this one meal, but you had like 6 meals a day, plus you had a healthy meal at the end of the day. So it would be like every 3 hours one of these pouches, and then at dinner time a big giant salad with chicken, super healthy and delicious, right? And so these would be your meals, and these are 11 grams of protein, 100 calories, 0 fat. This one particular one is honey sweet potatoes and brown sugar cinnamon. They tasted great. I had no issues with the way they tasted. I also picked up at that time one of these blenders, which I still use to this day, which I love, which I'll be using after the RNY as well. Little lungette, which is great. I put everything inside of it, blend it up, and it makes like a thicker protein shake or smoothie, and then it takes longer to drink it at that rate, and delicious. So I picked up that, and I did that for about 7 months. It was like over $500 a month, paying for all this packaged food to come, and I missed fresh food. I missed salads that I only got to have once a day. I missed, having an egg for breakfast. I could have an egg, but then I would have less protein at the end of the day if I ate the egg early in the day. It was really restricted. It was like 600 calories or something insane like that. And so when I decided to stop that, obviously I knew the weight was going to come back. I just didn't know it would come back with a vengeance. So I went back to my doctor, and I was avoiding him for about a year while doing all that to have any blood work done. And he took the blood work and told me that I was 6 months in November so that would be last year, November. I am 6 months shy of being a full diabetic. And I started to have symptoms of that already, going to the bathroom very often. I would instantly fall asleep as soon as I ate anything. Like, the body was like, we have to digest this food and you have to shut you down. I would also get blurry by the end of the day. And I thought it was because of high eye pressure, so they put the eye doctor had put me on like Laprox or something to eye drops at the night for the eye pressure, and I thought it was that. But then they said that the blurriness can't be that; that it has to be something else. So then it became probably blood sugar issues with that. Um, so that was pretty scary back in November, and that's when I started. My doctor told me, you know, you might want to look into gastric bypass or weight loss surgery because we've tried everything over the years, and instead of getting smaller, you just keep getting bigger and bigger. And my family has a history of heart issues, high blood pressure. My dad's family has issues of diabetes, and they're all dead. And so if I didn't figure this stuff out in the long term, I'm going to have some major issues. I'm already starting to have blurriness. I already have joint pain. The house I chose has a lot of stairs. And I love that about it, but I'm finding myself staying on one level so I don't have to go up and down these stairs because my knees hurt and I'm out of breath. And it's hard to do these things now that I, you know, put back on all the weight. And so I need to get back to the point where I'm like, oh, I forgot my hairbrush. I can run upstairs. I can come downstairs instead of being like on the same level all day. My job is also less active than it was before. When I was teaching, obviously I'm always moving around. When I was training at a facility, I was walking around doing one-on-one trainings. And now I sit at a desk in my house all day, working and eating, working. And it probably doesn't help that I work right next to the refrigerator either. So, you know, every time I'm bored or finish something or feel like I finished this, I'm gonna go grab cheese or pepperoni or pickles or something out of the refrigerator, which is constant snacking, and I really want to get out of that. I've cut out low carbs for such a long time that I really want my body to be able to eat carbs on a normal way again. And so I'm really excited about having the surgery because it doesn't it encourages lower carbs, but it's not telling you that like I could never eat rice again. I'm on keto for life after this, and that's not the case, and that I love about it. So my stats, if you are interested, I am 5'7", currently 174. 274. I wish I was 174. 274. My goal is about 174. If I could lose 100 pounds, I think that would be great. And very excited that I'm having surgery for RNY on Thursday at 7:30 in the morning. I think the paperwork says I have to be there at 5:30 or 4:30. Last week I had pre-op testing where they drew blood and, you know, did an EKG and made sure everything was all set for surgery. Everything is all set. It was interesting to come back and look at those blood results numbers and see all the levels that I have right now that are kind of off because of my weight. And so that was really interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing the blood work that's done again after surgery, after a couple of months, to see how healthier that I am, you know, becoming again. On the surface, you know, you don't know what someone's going through internally in their body or anything like that. So when I tell family or friends that I am going to have the RNY, they almost are like, "What? You're not that big." You know, and it's really more than that. It's more than weight. I mean, I've been in this weight forever, so it's not like, you know, this is new for me. It's really about just getting to the point where I am healthy again, where I have the energy, where I'm not sleeping, you know, right after I eat something, where I have the energy to go out and play with my kids, and I can like go to the park and like I can meet friends. I mean, having all this weight to carry around it's really depressing. You know, you're trying to go somewhere and I'm like, what can I fit into before I leave this house? That's horrible. So I have like 3 pairs of stretchy yoga pants and 2 shirts that I can throw on that make me feel decent enough to leave the house, because everything else is gotten so tight to put on and uncomfortable. So lately, every time I put it on, if it's too tight and uncomfortable, I just take it, fold it, put it in a bag in the back of my closet. So my closet's dwindling to like, you know, 7 outfits that I could possibly wear. And that makes it frustrating when somebody's like, "Hey, you want to meet me outside?" I'm like, "I'm not feeling well." Am I not feeling well? Probably not, but I'm not feeling like I could fit anything, so I'm going to stay my butt home. So that is where I am. Today, I am on that 48 hours before surgery time. And so I've already had a full glass of water today. Taking down these protein Gatorade waters. It's all clear liquids. After this, I made some protein jello, which I will eat all morning as I work. I'm allowed to have broth, so I'll have broth maybe later today if I'm feeling for it. Otherwise, I'll stick with fluids, liquids all day. And then I got one more day of that, and then the surgery day. So that's a little bit of my story. My goal really with this channel is accountability for myself. And if you are interested in seeing my accountability, then you are free to join and hear what I have to say. And so I appreciate you being here and like listening to me ramble. But it's really for myself and my accountability and being able to share and show my journey and be proud of my success. When I worked out a lot, when I had the trainer, I did post a lot of pictures and I did, share a lot of the meals I did on Instagram at that time. And it really kept me going for the 6 months that I lost those 60 pounds. And so I'm hoping that this channel will do the same